What's poppin', all stars? Welcome back to my channel. It's Damn She Jamaican, your biggest and brightest shining star. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about Mercury in Pisces. Now, this Mercury placement is very sensual. If you don't know what Mercury represents, it represents your communication and your way of thinking and also processing information. Pisces is the last zodiac in the 12th wheel. And honestly, Pisces is a little bit of each sign. Pisces is the sponge that absorbs its environment. So people with Mercury and Pisces are people that are very much stimulated in their environment. Like, their environment is what kind of shapes them, you know, like they respond to their environment much so. So if there's people around them that are sad or whatever, Pisces people don't know boundaries, you know, because it's like the fish swimming in the ocean amongst everybody else. So it's like there's no boundaries in the water, it's just free flowing. So people with Mercury and Pisces, when they communicate with you, sometimes they can talk about really I don't want to say this is for everybody, but mostly people with Mercury and Pisces, they always communicate in a way that's like dreamy, or it's like a story, kind of like, it's like when they tell you something, it's kind of, it just sounds like, what the fuck, like did you make that up? Like, it's like they live in their own world, and you can tell that, like you can tell that these people are like somewhere where, like, they're here but they really not here, like these people are, they're very compassionate people though. They're very when they talk to you, they're very sweet, you know, they're very nice. They love to love people, you know, they love to make people feel happy, and they don't like conflict at all. They can be pushovers, because they just don't know any boundaries, and sometimes they don't really know how to stand up for themselves. Like I said, this is not for everybody, but when they communicate, they also they also like to hear the other person's side of the story. Like, these are the type of people that they don't want to just talk about themselves all the time. They actually want to hear what you have to say. So that's really nice, and they know how to, like, emotionally and mentally connect with the world in a global way. Like, they just they're very spiritual people, so that's how they connect to the world, is with spirituality, and their mind is always on like a higher power or some form of spirituality, some form of God, or whatever the case may be for them, you know, their own individual thing. Another thing with Mercury in Pisces, these people love arts. They love the arts. They love pleasure, anything that for them personally gives them pleasure. Their mind is always on how to attain pleasure in life, you know, whether it's through romance, friendship, food, clothes, like however they can express themselves to feel like they're in this just beautiful place, like to just feel like they're really comfortable and at home within themselves. So Mercury being in Pisces, these people generally, I would say, are very kind-hearted people. I would just say that for people with this placement, just to learn how to develop some kind of boundaries with people, because sometimes people could come to you, and the thing with an astrological placement, it's either you're bringing the energies out or people are bringing it to you. So sometimes people could bring you a lot of issues in life where you kind of have to feel like a victim. Like, yeah, you always feel like a victim, like you always feel like someone's doing you something wrong. because no matter what, Pisces is soaks into their environment. So if people are negative, they're going to be the ones that become abused or victimized, and then they get on this tangent of telling the story about their abuse, and people are looking at them like, what do you, like, did that really happen? And it's because these people, sometimes people can spot people with Mercury in Pisces weakness. Like, it's so obvious. Like, it's obvious that these people sometimes don't always speak up for themselves readily, or they're really passive people. They like to keep the cool. And so when you're communicating with people, I would just say, like, don't always allow someone to overtake the conversation, or to use too much aggression on you, or try to control you or manipulate you into doing something you don't really want to do. And that's better said than done, but it's definitely true. Like, I can see that happening with you guys. There just needs to be, like, some sort of boundary. Like, you need to learn how to stand up for yourself. And yeah, but that's pretty much what I have for this video. You guys are really, really sweet, compassionate people, very spiritual. You do have a spiritual belief, and that spiritual belief sometimes is what gets you to be so passive, because you like to just think about the one, the all, and everyone's equal, everyone's the same. But sometimes people don't think the way you think. Mercury rules how you think. So sometimes people don't think like that. People aren't so